Good morning. Hello, and welcome to Monday Morning Meditation for Non-Meditators. I am Peaceful Nik the Medium. I'm an evidential medium specializing in helping people heal, but I also do some other stuff like help you quieten your mind in these times of extreme uncertainty. Say hello if you're popping in. Today's subject is it okay to have mixed feelings in a time of political violence? Let me just add my Facebook up here. There's a lot that has gone on in the past, 5 days, 6 days, something like that. A lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings. Hi, Aunt Jen, everybody, and I have it right here for everyone. Please follow Aunt Jen 888 on YouTube. She is a meditation teacher. She actually is the person who encouraged me to meditate for decades. And she's actually a professional meditation teacher. And she does meditations regularly. And she has a wonderful YouTube channel. She's just getting started on YouTube, actually. And we do want to do some lives together. So please subscribe to her channel. She's an incredible and amazing woman who has decades of experience in the healing modalities. So please, please, please follow her. Thank you. Thank you. I was already ready to share. Good morning. Good morning. I think she needs to get to 50 subscribers to go live with me, and we'll do all kinds of cool stuff on our lives. She was trained at the Chopra Center, run by Deepak Chopra in San Diego. So please follow her. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Carol. Hi, Stay Tuned. Hi, Gina. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Vivian. Welcome in. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened, and it's been crazy. And I've had a lot of feelings over the last week. How are you guys feeling? What do you think? Is this crazy? Is this normal? What should we do? Let me know in the comments. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Share my channel with your loved ones if you think they'll find it interesting or helpful. It's a lot. We're going through a lot. And I was watching some creator the other day, and they said, think about it. Kids who are, 10 to 20 years old think this is normal. People born after the year 2000, 2005, this is most of what they've experienced. And those of us who are a little older than that, or a lot like me, no, this is very abnormal. Hi, Wisdom Seeker. Stay Tuned is almost depleted. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to have this talk today. And I do have a meditation ready. We'll do a 3 to 5 minute meditation, but I just want you to get your feelings out a little bit. Gina said I dozed off twice yesterday, feeling depleted. Yeah, I think there's a lot of energy that has, it's just so much, and it's coming from everywhere. I mean, you can't escape it. So yesterday I decided to escape it, and I took the whole day off, and I rarely ever take a whole day off. And I went and had some fun, watched some football. I'm a 49er fan. Go Niners. They won. Yay. And watched football with my husband, then watched some TV shows, and just took the whole day off. I had to unplug from everything. And we do need to do that. We need to unplug and understand that we have to take care of our minds and our bodies. And I think that's why this, I know I missed the last couple of weeks going live on Monday. I had a lot of other things going on, but I thought this is an important Monday. This Monday needs to happen. This needs to really go full throttle this morning. Hello, Holly. Welcome in. Stay tuned said, I started this morning looking for new affirmations, creating my own reality. Exactly, exactly. Hello, Mandy. Sending love and light to you too, darling. So I'm so happy all of you are here. We really need to take care of ourselves and unplug, because no matter which side of the aisle you fall on, it, it's rough on both sides. And I actually want to mention something. I saw another creator talking about this morning, and I thought this is perfect for what we're going through. So there's something I had never heard of before. It's called extinction burst, and I will put it in the chat here. Everybody who's just joining, please follow Aunt Jen 888 on YouTube so we can go live together. Extinction burst, and what that is. Okay, so I had never heard of it, but basically what it means is when, and I've talked about this in a way, but didn't realize that's what I was talking about. And it's very relevant to right now, what is happening right now with the political scene. An extinction burst is when, I always say the pendulum swings back and forth. The pendulum swings, it goes to the right, it goes to the left, it goes to the right, it goes to the left. An extinction burst is when everything gets ramped up and angry. And the creator, and I can't remember his name, and I apologize to this creator, it was on Instagram. He gave this example. Say you go purchase something, a toy for your kid, and you run your card and it gets declined or doesn't work. You know how it just jingles or whatever when it doesn't work. And you run it again, and you run it again, and you run it again, and it just keeps going, not working, either declining or the machine doesn't work or whatever. And you get more and more and more and more and more and more and more irritated, and your emotions get higher and higher and higher and higher. And then all of a sudden you're just like, the heck with it, here's some cash. There's only so far this anger can go before it gets depleted. So that's what an extinction burst is. So I looked up what it meant because I wasn't sure. And it says in behaviorist psychology, an extinction burst is when you try to stop a behavior by stop reinforcing it. And at first, the behavior increases in intensity, frequency, or variation before it begins to decline. In social and political movements, the same kind of pattern can happen. A group whose power, influence, or legitimacy is being challenged may lash out more aggressively initially. So that could look like more threats or calls for vengeance, louder rhetoric online, conspiracy spreading wildly. Sound familiar? Yeah, Wisdom Seeker says we've reached satiety. That's enough. I agree. More symbolic or even real acts of political violence or sabotage, efforts to stifle or discredit critics, push back aggressively in media, politics, and social platforms, possible increased scapegoating of opponents, which is exactly what's happening the past week, minorities or media claiming victimhood or persecution. So what's the spiritual dimension of that? It's a dangerous phase because the extremist outburst is emotionally charged and can draw more people in, either as sympathizers or as opponents reacting in kind. But it's also an opportunity. When the intensity is high, the stakes are clear, and many more people are paying attention. It can be a moment for collective choice to step in with healing dialogue, with resistance rooted in values rather than fear. So, our meditation will be about how to navigate these times today. Carol said, oh my God, that's what happened to me all day Saturday. I felt like I was fighting my energy. Exactly. So, that when I saw that, here's Aunt Jen here. So, it's Aunt Jen 888, because it's when you type all that in, it's hard to find it. But where did I put it here? So make sure you're following her. So when I saw that video about extinction burst, I'm like, oh my God. So that it's going to bubble up. It's kind of like a volcano. A volcano will bubble up and bubble up and bubble up, and all of a sudden, and then depletes its energy. There's only, and this is, just important to take note of. This could be happening. So I'm glad you guys are all here. Rest when you can. Rest when you can. Take a break, unplug, turn off the news, turn off the podcasters that you're watching and listening to, or, just social media in general. Please take a break, because we're not going to come out of this together successfully on the other end if we fighting. And speaking of that, one of the great, I have book club. Some of you who are here are in my book club. Thanks to Mandy DeMaria, who's on here. She sent me this book in 2014, and it changed my life completely. In this book by Eckhart Tolle, we'll probably meet Friday for book club this week. One of the passages says, what you resist persists. And I know groups on the left for a long time say we're the resistance. And it's important to know that the more you're resisting something, the more it persists. Sometimes it's like a toddler having a fit. When you have a toddler who's having a fit, the more you try to stop the fit, the more the toddler has a fit, right? But if you just kind of ignore it for a couple of minutes, it reaches its extinction burst, right? The toddler has its fit, and then it runs out of energy. But when you're resisting it, it's feeding it. Or when you have an argument with somebody, say a narcissist or somebody who's a very challenging person, and you're having an argument with them, and they're trying to draw you into the argument, right? And you're resisting agreeing with them, and you're disagreeing with them, and you're like, I'm going to prove my point. I'm going to prove my point. That feeds the argument. It gives it more energy. You're feeding it more energy. So sometimes, and I actually said this for a long time, the person who's sitting in the White House now, I have said for a very, very long time, the more we talk about him, the more attention we give him, the more he's going to have power. If we would have stopped talking about him all the time in 2015 and 2016, he would not have gotten all this power. But because people love an argument, people love to get embroiled in all kinds of disagreements, it fed into it and fed into it and fed into it. And then the same thing happened in the last election cycle. It got fed in, plus other things. Don't even get me started. But there it's complicated, right? There's a lot of other stuff that went on, but feeding into the cycle of anger and hate and vitriol is not helping. It's just making things worse. So sometimes we just have to stand back and shut up and just let it work itself out. And the news media is absolutely a huge, gigantic contributor to all of this. All of the mainstream media, even some of the podcasters and nighttime news show, the Late Show, all those shows at night. I don't know what they're called anymore. All those people who are always insulting him feed into it because they're resisting it and it's making it persist. Beverly says, thank you, Nik. I had my surgery and it did go well. Very good. Good. Home and healing. Wonderful. I'm so glad, honey. I'm glad. Good. Vivian said, be selective who to watch. I stopped watching people who are fear mongers. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I like facts. Give me the bullet points. That's all I need to know. Good morning, Mangled Unicorn. And Wisdom Seeker said, touche, Vivian, spot on. Yeah, I can't handle negativity. So I'll give you an example. This past week, a week ago today, I was featured on the Jeff Mara podcast, and I'm so grateful. He was a wonderful host. Well, there was a tiny little itty bitty section in the middle of the podcast where he asked me some political questions, less than 5 minutes of an hour. And the attacks I got on that, from trolls or bots, or I don't know who they were relentless. I don't know if it was a bot farm, but they were all basically saying the same thing. But I was so upset, like it really bothered me. Like I had to cancel readings and reschedule them because it was so upsetting. Because the attacks were, I'm sensitive, right? Because I avoid all that kind of stuff. Um, Aunt Jen said, we get to be the change we want to see in the world. We start with ourselves. Yes, we have to start with ourselves. That's why, even though I have what I loved being on Linda G, I love being on Jeff Mara, I love being on so many of these wonderful podcasts. I don't mind talking about politics on any of these podcasts, but I always have the caveat of let's keep the vibration high. We have to keep the vibration high, because when we get into the arguing back and forth, like for example, one of the bots or trolls said, all this lady's doing is sharing her opinion, and why is she just sharing her opinion? And I'm like, thank you for your opinion. That was the only comment. That's the only comment I responded to, because I'm a smartass. And I'm just like, thank you for your opinion. Like, you're complaining about my opinion while sharing your opinion. You don't see the, you know, I thought it was funny. But it's all an opinion, right? There are facts, right? But everything we say on the internet is an opinion about politics, because I'm not a governor, president, senator, a judge. I'm not any of those things. I just have opinions about how I feel about things based on the facts I know. But it's still an opinion, just like everybody else's who's typing comments. Mangled said, Dr. Heather Cox Richardson, history professor. I love her very much. I love her very much. She is a great creator. And she spits the facts, as they say, right? Our love for you outshine their hate. Absolutely, Vivian. And that's that's what we want, right? We want to raise a vibration, so we can all get through this together on the other side and still have a country that we recognize, before 10 years ago, right? With rights for women from top to bottom, and due process for people, and not just putting people in internment camps, if you will, and shipping them off without any, checking their citizenship status and things like that. Beverly said, politics are man-made. Power of love is infinite. 100%. 100%. And it's like our economy is man-made too, right? Like, we could change it if we wanted to. It doesn't have to be so crazy. Same thing with politics. We could change it. Lori said, Heather is the one calm truth seeker. Agree. She is a wonderful reporter of the facts. Mangled said, the world as we knew it is gone. Humanity, however, is a choice. Choose compassion, choose empathy, choose love. They can't control love. That's what scares them. That is 100% true. And it's also true that they don't like it between politicians and religious organizations who are very dogmatic. They don't want us to know how much power we have as an individual soul or entity. They want us to think we have to do this or that, right? That we have to do this or that to believe what they say, to follow their rules. But spiritual seekers like us here watching know that we are free. There is nothing you can do to harm me. I am free in my mind, right? Even if somebody took my life, you're really freeing me even more, right? Like, I'm not asking for that to happen. I'm just saying that the threats, you can only threaten people so much. When you're free in your mind, it doesn't it doesn't affect you when somebody's like, "Oh, you're going to go to hell if you lie," or whatever. Like, they're all liars. It's a whole thing. Hi, Janet. Love and healing and white light to all. Absolutely. So, some of the notes I wrote for today's meditation, because we may have some mixed feelings. If anybody has, yeah, Mangle, don't threaten me with a good time. Exactly. Talking points for today's live stream. You can tell I'm a little tired, right? Acknowledge the complexity of your grief. So if you are feeling mixed feelings about what happened with Charlie Kirk and how the right wing is reacting, and the half-mast flags, but then the female politician who was taken out in her bed with her husband and her dog by a right-wing MAGA person, but nobody cared about that in the right wing. Like, there was no half-mast, and she was part of our government, and they just kind of ignored it. The right wing I'm talking about. So that can cause a lot of weird feelings. Like, you're so angry because they didn't really acknowledge this family that was murdered, but then this guy's murdered, and he has spewed hate and vitriol and racism and bigotry and misogyny, and the patriarchy is the best, and all of this all the horrible things he said. It's okay. And Therapy Jeff, if anybody follows Therapy Jeff, he's wonderful, and he explained this. You can have compassion that someone passed away, but you don't have to have empathy for that person if they were not a good person. It's like if you have a parent that dies that was abusive or narcissistic or neglectful or any of those combinations, you're going to have complex grief, because that parent was supposed to love you, and you're sad that they died, but you're not really that sad because they were a horrible person. Like, that's the kind of example. Let's see. Stay tuned said, I've commented on a creator's channel in a very benign way and received a very hateful comment. I responded with kindness and love. They apologized after a few days. I was amazed. Yeah. The internet is crazy, right? The sometimes we get so in our heads when we're responding to someone that we get angry and say things that we don't mean, and then the other person points something out. You're like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, good. I'm glad that happened. It's also okay to hold space in your heart for your mixed feelings and have grace for yourself. It's okay to feel sorrow for the victims, frustration with the system, fear of what's to come, anger at the other people who are just stoking more division and more anger and more hatred. And if you feel guilty for being a little happy that it happened, I mean, this is a complex situation, because it's horrible that someone passed away and they have a family left behind. But it's also true, two things can be true. It's also true that he spewed a lot of hatred towards people. This is what we call stochastic terrorism. And I made a Facebook post about this, and on my personal page. And stochastic terrorism is where you use a large platform and you spew hate, and this is going on a lot these days. You spew a lot of hate and a lot of negative things out towards the public, and you have plausible deniability for anything that happens, any violence or murder, or anything that happens as a result of that. So you're like, my hands are clean. It's kind of like a mob boss that talks in code. Okay, they don't actually do the crimes. They're just instructing others through code to do the crime. It's kind of like that. So it's okay to have a bunch of feelings that are all over the place with this, because you're like, I feel guilty because I should feel more sad, but I don't really feel that sad. But he has these little kids and a wife, and oh my God. And I haven't seen her video yet, by the way. I'm afraid to watch it because it might make me mad. Hi, Cindy. Mangled said, the internet is funny. People forgot that you could get punched in the face otherwise. Don't lower your vibe. Keep it high. They can come up to our level. All they can have is my calm. That's it. Right. And the more calm and peaceful we stay, the better for us. Yeah. Wisdom seeker. So many offenders of this these days. Exactly. So we have to reject demonization. We have to demand accountability, starting with ourselves. We have to understand that there are more citizens than politicians. It's kind of like the movie I think it was A Bug's Life, where I guess the cricket was in charge of the ants or something, and the crickets or grasshoppers, I don't know what they were saying, if they find out there's more of them than us, we're going to be in big trouble. And that's what's happening now. There are more citizens. We have choices. We have, there are things we can do to make sure that this gets turned around. Hi, Lorraine. Love and light. Was it ants? Okay. I've been saying that it was Bug's Life, but okay. Yeah, ants. I watched those with my kids when they were little. So we have to stay accountable to ourselves and others. We have to demand accountability from our quote unquote leaders. And we have to cultivate spiritual life. Bug's Life was Disney, ants had Woody Allen. Oh, I didn't know that. Was that before he married his stepdaughter? Well, that's a whole weird thing. So for those of us who are spiritual, we are now challenged to remember we have to have compassion, but we also need to demand justice and also have humility, right? We have to deepen our spiritual practices in order to ground, but not escape. We need to keep grounded, because when we are grounded, that's where we can find hope for making our future better. So what's happening is so complex. There's so many moving parts and so many dynamics, but we have to keep cooler heads, right? They say cooler heads prevail. We have to keep a cool head. And care for our, like I said earlier, our mental and emotional well-being. We can't just go crazy. I was watching on the night of the election, I was watching a content creator, and I can't remember who it was, but she was very calm and she was just reporting what was happening. And there was a woman commenting like the most deranged, terrible things. She was extremely triggered by what was happening in the election. And she literally seemed like she was having some kind of psychotic break. And yes, it was very upsetting, but this woman was like saying very bad things that she was going to harm herself and stuff. And the content creator's just streaming live, like she doesn't know this person. And so we have to keep the grounding is important. So we realize, look, we live in this 3-dimensional world. Yes, a lot of stuff is going to happen that is going to be bad, but we also have a lot of things to be grateful for, and we still have responsibilities, and we still have family around us that we love, and friends, and we have to be in service to those closest to us and around us in the best way we can without losing our minds. Because when you lose your mind and you're dysregulated emotionally, you can't accomplish anything. It's not going to happen. Mangle Sharon Stone was a female lead post Beaver Flash movie. Do you remember that was like the biggest news of the century, and now there's beaver flashes all the time everywhere. And then there was the the phase where the actresses and models would be getting out of the limousines and they would have a beaver flash. Remember that? It's like, and, oh no, oops. Come on. So our world is ridiculous. Yeah, Lori said, I'm so worried for my kids or next generation. Yeah, I have 2 boys and I have a granddaughter, and my family is continuing to expand. So I have another grandchild on the way from my other son and daughter-in-law, and it is worrisome. It is, but we have to stay in reality, keep one foot on the ground and realize we have to still take care of what's in front of us. What's in front of us, one step at a time, one moment at a time. We can't go 10 steps ahead. Um, Planning for the future is one thing briefly, but having fear for the future can manifest it. Worry is manifesting something negative to happen, or there's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If we worry and think about, oh, this is going to be bad, this is going to be bad, then it's going to be bad, right? So we need to, and it's hard. I am not trying to say in any way, shape, or form that I am immune from any of these feelings because I have all the feelings. I'm just trying to say, if we work together and keep reminding each other and supporting each other, that we can get through these feelings together and make the world a better place. I am not at all ever trying to say I have evolved to some point of perfect zen or I'm free from any of this. I am absolutely full of feelings about all of this. So don't feel like I'm trying to say anything like that, because I would never. I'm not that evolved yet. Aunt Jen said, gratitude, compassion, and humility, top tools to have within and use daily, first with ourselves and others. Absolutely. And remember, Aunt Jen 888 is a meditation teacher trained at the Chopra Center. She has done Reiki healing, yoga master, meditation master, she has all kinds of incredible experience, and she's an incredible spiritual teacher. I've known her for 40 years. We've been best friends for a very long time, and we've been through a lot together. She has taught me a lot. She helped me tremendously on my spiritual journey, tremendously. I'm eternally grateful. So make sure you follow her so we can go live together. You're blowing people's minds. Mangold said, the phrase discretion is the better part of valor. Very appropriate. Take a breath. Take a few if you need. Everything now is complicated. Breathe, process, respond only if necessary. Choose your battle. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Choose your battle. We don't have to share our opinion about everything with everyone. And the more this is such a great point, and I just want to say this. We can drive ourselves crazy by arguing with people who vehemently disagree with our views. I mean, we can argue and argue and argue, and you feel like you're beating your head against the wall. But it's not changing their view at all. You can show someone who has decided to believe a certain way. You can show them fact after fact after fact. You can show them videotape of the person who lives in the White House, of him saying horrifically inappropriate things about his own daughter several times on television. Grab them by the beaver, that video. You can the files, the lawsuits, E. Jean Carroll. You can show people who are his fans, which is what it is, or members of his cult or whatever. You can show them all these facts, video, and no, it's fine. He's a God-fearing man. It's fine. Everything's fine. He didn't mean it. He was joking. You can't convince them. You can't move the needle at all. Remember, we have to have the extinction burst. He's not going to live forever. But the underlying issue of why our society has split into this cult-like, probably 30% of the people that voted for him are pretty deep in it. That's a pretty high percentage. Laughter is good. Yes. My teen made a Photoshop pic after that came out, but it was weaponized assault penguins. That's funny. Aunt Jen said, healing ourselves to support these children of the world. Amen to that. Lorraine, I have 4 kids, 8 grandchildren, and 1 great-granddaughter. I am very worried about them. Deep breaths. Listen, this is what I say to people in that situation, Lorraine, and anybody else who's listening. Lead with love, lead with compassion, lead with intelligence. The only thing you can do is give them the best guidance and the best information that you can find, and how to discern between real information and false information. Give them, as much moral clarity as you can. And really everything else is out of your hands. You can give them love, compassion, intelligence, education, teach them the best things you can, and the rest, none of us can control. We can't control what's going to happen, unfortunately. Wouldn't that be nice if we could? Because I myself have some control issues, and I am a worrier as well. If something triggers you, zoom out. That's right. Change the lens you're viewing. I say that all the time. I think we talked about this in book club on Saturday or Friday night on the live. Zoom out and see what the bigger picture is. We must be grounded and remain calm. Wisdom seeker, how did I get to be so wise? Girl, trauma. I've had a lot of therapy. I've read a ton of self-help books. Aunt Jen has, again, been my friend for 40 years, and her being trained by Deepak Chopra and the Chopra Center and David Simon, she has taught me an incredible amount of how to deal with all of this. She's been a very solid support system in my life, essentially most of my life. So it's not just me. I have, let's say, quote unquote, plagiarized my wisdom from multiple sources. These are mostly not my original thoughts. It's just a combination of a lot of different lessons I've learned and things I've read, spiritual teachers I followed. So it all started with trauma. So that's trauma results in wisdom, I guess, if you take the right path, or the path I took, I'll say. Lori said, never thought my daughter would have less rights than I had growing up. Can I get an amen on that? Right? I know. I have 2 daughters-in-law. I have a granddaughter who's about to be 6 months old. Both my daughters-in-law live in states where if their pregnancy goes awry, bad stuff. Yeah. That I never thought I'd see the day that Roe was overturned. And I never thought I'd see the day where we have so much violence from the Second Amendment supporters. I think we're all in shock about a lot of this. If your compassion does not include yourself, then it is incomplete. Yes, you have to be compassionate for yourself first. Yes. Show the younglings how to properly do that. I love that you said younglings. You must be a Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love it. I love it. Stay tuned said, worry brought me to a negative result. It came true. I know I manifested it. But forgive yourself. We all do it. No one here is immune from worrying so much that we've caused ourselves a negative manifestation. Give yourself some grace. No one is free from worrying something into reality. I mean, just give yourself some grace, forgive yourself. Mangold said, someone with a personal delusion will only see light when they are ready. 100 million billion %. I know that's not a percent, but that is very true. Lorraine, wonderful advice. Thank you. Let's see. Angel. Hello, Angel. I'm having a rough rheumatoid arthritis day. Please send love and light. So if anybody's does Reiki out there, if you could send some healing to Angel. Yeah, RA is rough, and I will send you some love and healing because that is very painful, rough. Which song, Mangled? From Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I saw Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young in Golden Gate Park after Billy Graham died. Late 80s, there was a helicopter crash with Billy Graham up in the Bay Area, and they had this huge concert. Billy Graham was not the preacher, a concert maker guy. I don't know what you called it. He was like a famous person. He was kind of like Ticketmaster, but not greedy like Ticketmaster. So it was cool to see Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and I want to say REO Speedwagon was there. I don't know. It was crazy. Golden Gate Park used to have some really cool concerts. Like it was free. I lived like literally a half a block from Golden Gate Park and walked right in, and there were like tens of thousands of people. It was super cool. Being fearful won't change a thing for our future. Align our long-term, mid-term, and short-term plan like all successful businesses. Yes. Start with something small and let the love spread. Yes. Teach your children well. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Wisdom Seeker. It's what worked for you. It's teaching people how to be open to heal because the roads are many and varied. You're leading by example. It's what spirit wants. Absolutely. Sending lots of love and prayers, Angel, from Lorraine, White Light, hoping you feel better. Stay tuned. Definitely forgave herself. Yes. Have turned it into a very result. Oh man, Jelly, I love a good concert. Oh, me too. I love music. Now I'm a little too cranky and want to go to bed too early, and I don't like a lot of noise now, but when I was 17, it was great. Janet, Miss Jackson, I think we should only watch a small amount of mainstream media. Turn off the TV, maybe take a walk in nature. Forgive me. I go to water, rivers, lakes to recharge. 100%. 100%. I say it all the time. Turn off the news. Turn off the news. If there's a major disaster you need to know about, somebody will call you or text you and tell you. Like, especially do not ever watch the news in the morning. Never. Okay. Are you guys ready? Very much like liking street. Yeah. Bladder. Yeah. As we get older, the bladder, 100%. I'm sitting here holding it now. So we're going to do our guided meditation. Mangled, I think you're psychic. I think you're reading my mind. I cut the cord on cable, like, I don't know, over 7 years ago. Best decision. Yeah, I don't have cable. But my husband has YouTube TV which I don't know if that's considered. That's not considered cable. So we can get all the like sports channels because he loves sports. So I don't watch like hardly anything, maybe 2 or 3 shows on like regular TV. Oh, the lane line by your house. Oh, that's cool. All right, so let's start our meditation. So this is a guided meditation for navigating political upheaval. And I hope you guys can get, if you're sitting still, not driving, do not do this if you're driving. If you're driving, pause the video and come back later. If you're watching the replay, feel free to watch this part as many times as you want. But make sure you have a comfortable place to sit. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. Do this 3 times. One more. Now soften your jaw. Unclench. Let your shoulders soften. And let your body settle into your chair. Continue breathing. As you breathe, imagine a golden light above your head. Gentle, warm, and steady. With each inhale, this light moves through you. Filling you with peace and balance. With each exhale, you release tension, frustration, and fear. Continue breathing. Now bring to mind the heaviness of the political divide, the anger, the grief, the uncertainty. Notice how it feels in your body. Don't resist it. Simply acknowledge it. Place a hand over your heart and silently say, even in the midst of chaos, I choose peace within. Even in the midst of chaos, I choose peace within. Even in the midst of chaos, I choose peace within. Now imagine roots growing from your body deep into the earth, grounding you, reminding you that you are safe and supported. Feel the earth holding you steady, no matter what storms pass above. Continue breathing. Now visualize people across the country, all with different opinions, fears, and hopes, yet all with the same beating heart, the same longing for safety, belonging, and love. See threads of compassion extending from your heart to theirs, not to agree or disagree, but to recognize our shared humanity. Take one more deep breath in, gathering peace and resilience. Breathe out slowly, releasing division and tension. As you gently return to the present moment, repeat silently, I carry peace within me. I am grounded. I am compassionate. I am free. I carry peace within me. I am grounded. I am compassionate. I am free. I carry peace within me. I am grounded. I am compassionate. I am free. When you are ready, come back into your body. Feel your feet on the floor, your bottom on the seat, your hands on your lap, your shoulders and your neck, your face. Move around, wiggle into your body. Open your eyes. Carry the sense of calm with you and balance into your week, into your world, and to everyone who you spend time with this week. We have to stay calm and grounded in order to successfully achieve our goals. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. I hope this helps you. If you want to leave a comment. Thank you. Thank you. Mangled and Aunt Jen. Yeah, I don't like to leave the live when I'm on the live by myself. um, yeah, so I hope this helps everyone. I am going to snip that meditation out and repost it probably tomorrow, because I think we need this badly, 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 badly. I think we all need love. And I love the part of the meditation where it talked about how putting the strings out to all the people across the country, because whether they agree with us or not, everyone just wants love. That's the whole point. That's why people get pulled into these different um, groups, because they want to belong. They want to be involved. They want to be seen. A lot of people aren't seen and don't feel like they belong in their own family, so they find a chosen family. And so it's so important that we let them all know we also can choose each other. So I just want to thank Carol again for my beautiful bracelet and earrings. I have a little sensitive ears. That's why you hardly see me wear earrings, but I did wear them, Carol. So thank you so much. They're little moons. I have them. Where did I put them? I think they're in here. Yeah, I have them right here. These little beautiful little moon earrings. Beautiful. And I love, Carol, I thought that I love that you sent me this bracelet because it's the color of the dirt on Mars. And I thought that is so perfect. All right. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Aunt Jen. We'll do a meditation together. I hope you hit 50. Everybody help Aunt Jen get to 50 subscribers so we can go live and do this together. Can you have Aunt Jen on with a Zoom link? Yeah, I can. Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. Jen, send me your avails this week and we can do a Zoom through StreamYard. I can do it. I've already figured out how to do it. We can definitely do that if you don't already have 50. That's a good idea, Gina. Thank you. See, sometimes my mind doesn't think of things. Infinite gratitude, Nik. Thank you. Much love and pearly white light to surround you always, and to you and everyone else. Mangled said, when I had my hand on my heart, Cookie, my Chihuahua puppy, dig her head under my hand and then curled up on my chest. It was a lovely addition. Oh, animals know. Oh, they know. They know. They know. They know. Oh, yeah, great idea. Thank you for that, Gina. See, you guys help me. I got to get it together. Everyone, I love you all. Love and light to everyone. I will be hopefully live tonight for Magical Mondays with Lady Shadow. I'm not sure if she'll be able to show up, but I will definitely be back later tonight. We'll pull cards and chit chat, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Sending you all love, so much love. Remember, yes, let's rock it, light warriors. Hi, Catnap. Remember, we're all in this together. We cannot succeed without each other. We cannot. So lead with love in your community and boundaries, obviously. Love and boundaries. Sending you all love. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you later on tonight. Bye. Bye, everybody.